Now I'm going to begin with the Africa International Film Festival, AFIFF. It is an annual film festival that takes place in Nigeria. It was founded all the way back in 2010. Amongst the films set to premiere is SONDER. Now this is a film by Chisom, a young film and television producer, of course a media and entertainment brand strategist as well. She's worked on various projects within the film industry. Now her own movie touches on such a poignant topic, especially for the month of November, because we're talking about men's mental health. Most of the time when we do the mental health conversation, we have women on the show. We talk about women. Women have to feel good. Women have to take care of themselves. But what about the men? Is it okay for a man to cry, for instance? Is it okay for him to just be expressive, be frustrated and be angry the way, we all can be sometimes? Well, in this story, she's telling us about a young man whose name is Success. The irony. He wakes up one morning to calls from his family asking him for money. Now, like I said, mental health is a strong theme here, and we just see how he attempts to navigate the difficulties of society's expectations. Here's the trailer.
We won't be needing your services. You have been let go.
This life now scam. Polo, pour drink a beg.
Please make it stop. Please, I can't take it anymore. I want to die.
Calm down.
A lot can happen in 24 hours, like losing the will to exist.
Well, joining me now is Chisom, a young film and television producer. She was actually selected as one of the 20 young African filmmakers to be sponsored by the Africa International Film Festival and Ford Foundation to study a film course. This was in France. Now, she has worked in several film and TV projects. She's worked on the Mnet TV series Halita, Rishante's Still Falling. I've got Chisom right now in the Lagos studio. Chisom, it's great to have you on Arise 360, and congratulations. Your movie is going to be showing as well between the 6th and 11th of November in Lagos, Nigeria, as part of AFIFF for this year. How does that make you feel?
Well, it was one of best feelings ever, seeing that my filming career started with AFIFF back in 2015. So seeing that my film was selected by a renowned film festival in Africa, it seemed like, I was getting recognition for a lot of work that I had put into the project.
How difficult would you say it is to put work out there? Because, anyone who heard what you just said would be like, oh my gosh, she's so lucky. But would you really say it's just luck? How easy is it to get that recognition?
I don't think it's luck, to be honest, because it's not easy. Because first of all, making a film is hard work. You have to find money for the film. You have to try and reach out to as many people to put out your work out there. So it's not easy, to be honest, because a lot of things, a lot of the support comes from your friends, your inner circle. Finding support from, outside is really difficult, and to be honest, it's not luck. I will tell you that for free, it is not luck. A lot of work goes into it.
Let's talk about the industry in itself. This is a short film. I've had this conversation a lot, and I would always say short films fascinate me and annoy me because it's too short and then I want more. But at the same time, there's so much information put in there. So is it easier? I've asked this question a lot. Is it easier to put out a short film or a full-length film?
I don't think it's easier to put out a short film because there's a lot of pressure as a filmmaker that's doing a short film because you have to put in all the information in such a short time. I was having a conversation with someone some time ago, and the person was saying that, short form filmmaking is a special skill, to be honest. If you had the luxury of, doing a feature-length film, you have time to tell your story. But with short films, you have to hit your information ASAP, and it's not really easy. But it's easier, for me, it's easier to put out a feature-length film because then you're bringing in a crew for a longer time. But when you have to bring them in for a shorter period, it's like you have to pay more. So yeah, putting out a short film is harder than putting out a feature-length film, to be honest with you.
If I'm ever going to go into movies, I definitely will want to think twice, because I always thought, oh, easy peasy, just short film, 10, 15 minutes, it's done. Now, let's talk about your story, Chisom. Mental health. I mean, give us a better picture. I don't think I did justice to summarizing this film.
My short film basically is telling a story about a guy who's at the brink of losing everything and tries to commit suicide, but has a spiritual encounter that allows him to hear people's thoughts. So there's a lot of pressure, first of all, on men in the world. The pressure to provide, the pressure to carry up the families, and we don't speak about that enough, I think. And sometimes when we're going through our personal issues, sometimes we just assume that the whole world is against us. And it's quite personal for me, because there was a time I was, feeling some form of depression, and I felt like, why are my friends not reaching out to me? Why are my friends not, talking to me? Until I sort of called one of them out, or two of them out, and, they opened up to me about their issues too. So I was like, okay, so I was in my own bubble and not, taking cognizance of the fact that a lot of people around me are going through issues as well. So I felt like it was a story that needed to be out there to put less pressure on people around us and on ourselves, in terms of how we're feeling at different points in time. Yes, that was really my mind when I was trying to create the film, because for me, making films that, have personal impact on both myself and people around is what's most important to me.
So in terms of support now, Ryan Coogler was in Nigeria this weekend, and during the press conference, he answered a lot of, questions basically. And one of the things he said that really struck me was when he was asked, how did you get this platform, Ryan Coogler? Like, how did people get to see you? And he said if he was stuck in an elevator with anyone for 5 minutes, the first thing is he would want to have done something, So basically, it's not enough to just tell people, I want to do this, or I want to make a movie, I want to do this. Start from somewhere, just like you've done. You have a short film now, and based off of that short film, it's like, it just catapults you forward. You can now do more things because you have proof to show, oh yeah, I can do this. However, support is essential. With regards to the finances for this film, some might be watching and thinking, okay, maybe she was sponsored, or maybe, she has it all. Walk me through that process. In terms of funding, is there support out there for filmmakers who are interested in having something to even show that they can do it? Or, does it always just have to be, sort yourself out?
Okay, so for myself, this short film was self-funded, and I got a little bit of support from friends and family. I think that the industry is beginning to support younger filmmakers, but it's mostly in capacity building. And I think that it's one thing to help me build capacity, and it's another thing to show me how to, or to give me the means to be able to do some of these things that I want to do, or to tell the stories that I want to tell. I know that, I think Ebony Live TV has a program that they do, and after the program, they equip their students with funding or so to do short films. But I think the industry should be more intentional about giving us support. It doesn't have to be a lot, to be honest. It could be, short phone, making films with phones, or, just making funding for, short films. Not to have to be a lot, because I think you can make a short film with less than 500,000 naira or with less than 1 million naira, and you would do something that's, pretty good and amazing to be able to put out there. I think that the industry, or individuals, organizations, wherever, they should, create a corporate social responsibility to help young filmmakers like us to create at least a proof of work that we could use to show people that we are able to do these things. Africa Magic and a couple of other streaming platforms, they're into Nigeria right now, and it's really big, but it's like all the opportunities keep going to bigger filmmakers. I think that, they should support us in terms of giving us work, commission work, that is, and if you cannot trust us individually, I think maybe they should try to trust us collectively. So pair one producer that you know to a younger director, to a younger editor, and that way the industry can grow. That's what I feel.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chisom. I think it's about time for, like you said, a lot of these big organizations to start looking beyond, you know, the surface. Just at the AMA Awards this year, I was having a conversation with a couple of investors who came into Nigeria, and they just said, oh, that, you know, we were just trying to observe, we love what's going on here, and we just want to see people we can partner with. And I told them something, I'm like, listen, you're going to see a lot of excitement, a lot of glam, and a lot of big names, but I want you to look beyond that, because that's where you're really going to find the true quality. That's where you're really going to find the true substance. And they were stunned, because they were like, I'm not the only person who's told them that. And interestingly, that's exactly what they were going to do. So I'm really hoping that the right people are seeing these stories, especially stories like yours, stories like Jude's story as well, and other, you know, new filmmakers and great storytellers that are out there, you know, to start giving us some big bucks. Maybe we will have less criticism when he gets on the big screen and on the big stage. Chisom Ifekando, I've got to let you go now. Thank you so much for joining me today on Arise 360. Honestly, I should invite you back, because I feel like this last part of the interview is a whole other conversation. You know, but thanks and congratulations again. Good luck this week. I believe it's in the 6th and 11th
Thank you very much.
of November. Your film will be showing at AFIFF 2022. Well,